Hi buddy, welcome once again. So we are here to understand how to create a digital marketing strategy for beginners, especially if you have never crafted a particular marketing strategy before. And not only for beginners, also for those who are just trying to reinvent themselves and understand how they can maybe improve on their already established marketing strategies. So with your pen and paper, kindly let's tag along so that we understand this very important concept when it comes to digital marketing. Now, a strategy is actually a very good concept to put before you actually do your digital marketing. Why is it important? Because it gives you a plan, a well laid out roadmap of what you should do, maybe to be ahead of your competitors, which kind of tools you need to use, right? So I won't really go into the nitty-gritties of what digital marketing is, so you are aware of what digital marketing is. So we want just to look at some of the digital marketing strategies that you can always use. The common types are as shown. We have social media marketing strategies. You can implement that. You can also use search engine optimization strategies. You can also use search engine marketing option. You can also perform some kind of such marketing strategies, right? And of course you can use email marketing, content marketing, pay-per-click, and over-the-top streaming ads. Most of these concepts I've already tackled them in my previous videos, so if you have time, just look at what we engaged in previously. Now I have a structure here, or how you can be able to structure your digital marketing strategy. So as I mentioned, a digital marketing strategy or any strategy requires some well laid out roadmap. Of course, if you want to implement a given digital marketing strategy, you need to ask yourself, where am I, right? In this context, you're going to ask ourselves, where are we now in terms of our goals, right? In terms of customer insight. Customer insight is that, do we understand who our customers are? We also need to understand our strengths, weaknesses, of course, opportunities that are there, right? And of course, the threats. Of course, we need to look at internal capabilities and resources that are available. Where do we want to be? Right, and for us to cover this, we need to understand the 5S objectives, right? Like the sell component. This is about customer acquisition and retention targets. Serve. This is about satisfying customer or implementing customer satisfaction target. Of course, you need to sizzle, kind of have some traffic to our website, maybe understand the visit duration. Of course, speak. Use different ways of communicating to your customers so that you can engage them in what we refer to as dialogue. And of course, save quantified efficiency gains, implement some kind of reviews, and so on. How do we want to get them? So there's also some kind of strategies that we need to implement, like segmentation, what we refer to as target marketing, and brand positioning. So I've also mentioned about this in my previous videos about a marketing concept, so you can take a look at. And of course, ensures that you have the available tools to enable you get there. Of course, how exactly do we get there is also another thing that you need to look at. Of course, you can implement different strategies that you have so far looked at. You can use your search engine optimization, email marketing, right? Of course, you also need to understand the actions, the tactics, so the details, right? The details of tactics, right? Who does what and when. So we need also to bring people on board, give them the roles and responsibilities. You can also engage, or we can have some kind of outsourcing if you don't have the resources, right? So, and reporting, or what we refer to as measuring the KPIs. So it's very important to understand how you are making progress. Are you going backwards, or you're making maybe some positive steps forward. So you can do this by looking at the various KPIs like leads, and of course talk about conversions. So we can also do this through interacting with our customers via some surveys. You can use some Google Analytics to aid you in reporting, right? So ideally, every marketer who is serious in formulating their strategy should use this particular structure. So perform situation analysis. Situation analysis, you can use tools such as SWOT analysis, of course PESTEL analysis. PESTEL is where now it enables you to understand the political climate, political factors, environmental factors, legal factors that can affect your overall marketing strategy. So ideally, we need to understand also the digital marketing strategy considerations. Now, in any digital marketing strategy, we need to have these 7 goals, or rather these 7 points. The first one is to understand or actually undertake to implement those particular goals, right? You also need to understand your audience, your competitors, the platforms, content, budget, and reporting. So ideally, these 7 parameters are going to ensure that, or they are going to form our understanding of how to create a digital marketing strategy. So number 1 is goals. So let's look at goals. As I'd mentioned, strategy number 1 should actually be formulating SMART goals. So first, actually, it's always important to, I think there's something that is missing here there. So first, make sure that the goals of your digital marketing strategy are aligned with your high-level business goals. If you have been following me for a while, this is something that I always reinforce so that you don't miss the concept. So your digital marketing goals, right? Your digital marketing goals, these goals or strategy should align itself with the high-level business goals, right? And generally, the overall marketing strategy. Very, very important. So your goals or your strategy should be part and parcel of the overall organizational goal. Now, the world's best digital marketing campaign set goals using the SMART goal setting framework. And this is to understand that your goal should be specific. So the goal should clearly describe what you want to accomplish. So it should be specific. Your goal should also be measurable. So this establishes the quantifiable metric that identifies when you have achieved your goal. Very important. It should be attainable. Your goal should be attainable. The goal should be realistic, and of course, given the resources and time you have, should be relevant or realistic in that approach. The goal aligns with the company's priorities and will have a meaningful impact on your business. And of course, the SMART goal or the goal that you implement should be time bound. So you should aim to achieve it within some specific dates. Now, so when talk about goals, when you're creating a digital marketing strategy, factor in these social media goals. So I've presented 9 of them. So in any digital marketing strategy, you'll always be there to understand how to increase your brand awareness, because ideally that should be one of your main goals. Also, another goal that could come in handy could be to generate leads, right? Another goal will be to create customer loyalty. Another one will be to drive website traffic. Another one could be foster engagement with customers or followers, increase revenue, collect feedback from customers, support other business objectives, and of course to gain insights into how customers interact with your brand online. So these are just some kind of goals that we'll always endeavor to achieve. Now let me just give you an example of a SMART goal so that you know how to maybe have yours or craft yours. So under the SMART framework, generic goals like increase sales, can become more actionable objectives, like increase gross profit by 15% by the end of Q2. So you can see they are achievable. They are time bound, and they are very specific. So this makes it much easier to determine if a campaign was successful or not. So it also involves or gives you something tangible to aim for, which provides marketing teams more clarity. Another goal, smart goal, could be achieve 10% more traffic onto focus landing pages within 3 months. You can see time is there. It is more specific. Is actually measurable, right? It's also actionable, right? Of course, the other one is to achieve a 5% increase in returning customers applying for home improvement loans. Now, these are just examples of smart goals that you can always implement. So, the next strategy is to know your audience. Who are your audience? When you're crafting a digital marketing strategy, it's very, very important to understand who your audience are. So you should clearly identify your target audience or target market. So your target audience is the group of people that you believe are likely to be interested in your product or other service. So target audience information can include, of course, their values, their needs, their location, their interest, spending habits, and what device they use. It could also include their demographics, such as age, gender, educational level, marital status, their geographic, where they come from, their psychographic, and so on, right? So ideally, knowing your audience helps you meet your customers' needs. Successful digital marketing team collects data on their customers to inform their digital marketing strategies. So you can learn more about your audience through Google Analytics. You can also use Google Console. You can also use Google Trends. These are tools that I've already mentioned within this particular channel. So if you have time, kindly look at previous videos. So you can also perform some customer surveys using Google Forms, which are very free, so that you can always get the right feedback. That's the second strategy. The third strategy is to get to know your competition. Who is your competitor? Now, let me take your attention to one of the videos that I did about competitor analysis. I talked about the various strategies with respect to competitor analysis. So just find time to look at how we undertook these particular strategies about our competitor analysis. So, one, start by conducting a competitive analysis to understand what other companies are doing on social media. Now, to help you achieve this, there are free competitor analysis tools that are out there. One of them is Google Trends. Very, very useful tool, and is very free, right? The other one is, this includes looking at the Google Trends or Google Analytics tools are going to help you understand your competitors, where they are in terms of their social media channels and presence. Their social listening aspect, right? We talked about the tone of voice and messaging. Target audiences, what they target, type of content being shared, of course, level of engagement with your followers. Another tool that you can use is the SimilarWeb, to analyze your competitors' web traffic, to understand where their traffic is coming from, right? Which region, and so on. The fourth strategy, still within the competitor, we can do competitor analysis using the situational analysis. That is, we can borrow the SWOT analysis framework. So you can say it enables you present or understand the strengths that you have, right? The weaknesses of your competitors, as you can see. So like the strengths could be existing brand, existing customer base, existing distribution, right? Now, for you to have a good attacking strategy, Then you need to combine the strength and the opportunities. So opportunities here could be cross-selling in different markets, check the new markets, new services, co-marketing strategies, right? So if you need to have a good attacking strategy to your competitor, then you need to balance between the strength and opportunities. So you have to leverage on that. And of course, you also need to factor in the weaknesses and opportunities, which is also enables you build strength for attacking your competitor. Of course, this one will counter weaknesses through exploiting opportunities, right? So this combination is also a good one. So you can also implement a defensive strategy by bringing on board the strength and threats, right? So you'll leverage on strength to minimize the threats. Of course, building strength for defensive strategy is bringing the weaknesses on board plus the threats. So you'll counter the weaknesses and the threats. So these are some of the strategies that you can use when you are actually implementing, or rather doing your some kind of competitor analysis, right? So for further information, you can always check on our previous video about competitor analysis. Now, the strategy, the fourth strategy, is to select the right platform. When we talk about the right platform here, we are looking at the social media platforms or any other online platform that you might use. But it's not just about using any social media platform, right? So selecting the online platforms appropriate to your campaign and your target audience is key, right? So remember, you have also the campaign strategy or campaign plan, which will also be part and parcel of your digital strategy, right? So if you are planning to advertise online, consider where your target audience are online, right? If you want to attract more customers on social media, check which social media platform your target audience spends the most time. And this is possible by using the various digital marketing tools that you can use, like Google Analytics. You should research the various platforms to determine which one best suits your brand. And of course, lastly, it is usually better to spend more time creating a quality presence on one or two platforms that are popular with your target audience, rather than spreading your time across multiple platforms that are not really going to give you the right results, and you'll end up maybe investing a lot of resources for no good reason. Now, this particular diagram, I know it's an old one, but it gives you some opportunity to understand who your audience is, how you can reach them, and what are their goals. I've indicated, or the diagram indicates, which platforms you can use for what, right? Like you can say the demographics have been presented here in terms of numbers, but this one keeps on changing, so you can always look at the latest statistics. You can also look at the purpose which these particular platforms serve to, maybe endeavors to serve, and then what they are best for, right? And of course their limitations, cutting across, right? Like a given example, I know TikToks are not here, Instagrams are not there, but we can use this strategy to know or to help us understand which platform to use. Like Facebook here is best for building loyalty, right? And you can say Pinterest is good for lead generation, right? So these are some of the information that you can use to maybe direct your strategy to a given platform. You can also look at the traffic or monthly traffic analysis that will help you understand which platform to use for your marketing strategy or content marketing, right? Then this should be, I believe, the fourth strategy. Sorry for that. This should be the fifth strategy. Creating quality content, right? Creating quality content. So let me just cancel this so that you don't get lost. So this one should be our fifth, isn't it? So this is number 5. So this should be strategy number 5. So creating engaging content such as infographics, photos, animations, reports, blog posts, and videos can be effective in engaging with your customers on social media, right? Attracting visitors to your site and increasing brand awareness. Now, it's not really a good and easy task creating quality content. Yeah, so you need to have a lot of time because it's time consuming. Your strategy should include a content calendar, right? Now, there are various tools that are available that enables you to have some content calendar, like Hootsuite. That one I know, right? And there are other free tools that you can use, right? So free calendar templates are available, right? Even HubSpot allows you to create this particular calendar, right? So as you plan your calendar, right, you need to factor the following, right? How frequently will you be posting to each social site, right? Maybe you have 5 social sites that you want to post your content. At what times will you be sharing your content for maximum engagement? Now, this one takes us to understanding who our audience are. At what time are they available online, and where do they access our platforms from? What types of content will resonate with my target audience? Do they like videos? Do they like infographics, right? What are the trending topics that your readers love to engage with? These are just some examples of how you can plan your social content, which is very, very important. Now, the other one, which will be actually strategy number 6, is to consider the logistics, right? What are these logistics? Logistics are, we can say, they are the resources or tools that enable you execute this strategy or ensure that you implement this strategy successfully. One of them could be budget, right? So marketing campaigns need to generate return on investment, right? Because that is the main goal, actually. So if you spend too much time on a campaign that doesn't generate enough revenue, it will put your marketing budget in red, right? So take note of that. Also, you need to consider people. So do you have enough staff to bring all these digital marketing strategy together? Does your team have the expertise to execute your marketing strategy? Do you need to have some kind of outsourced manpower, right? These are all important questions to ask. Time is also another thing to understand. So time constraints will limit the scope of your digital marketing campaigns. So don't overschedule your marketing team. Find a balance that allows you to generate the return on investment without perennially tight deadlines. And of course, lastly, the channels. So which channels are you using to promote your business? You have to ask yourself that. Whether it's social media, videos, blogs, or podcasts, the channels you choose should naturally come with the limitations and rules, right? Then also we have the next strategy, which actually happened to be strategy number 7, right? Sorry for that. I just want to number them nicely so that you know how many strategies you can implement. Now, measure your key performance indicators is another thing that you need to put into perspective, right? So measurement is essential in a marketing strategy to determine whether your campaign has met the goals you set. That is also known as the key performance indicators. So you must always decide how these will be measured and what reporting tools are required. Again, if you talk about reporting tools, we go back to Google Analytics, Google Console. These ones are freely available tools that can help you. So reports should be set up to track and measure performance before your marketing campaign begins, so you can measure the effectiveness and make adjustments accordingly. Like for example here, measuring the results, I've given an example here. Consider product X. So if your strategy is to target, for example, women via social media and in face-to-face settings, the following tactics may apply. So there's an example of a key performance indicator here. So if the objective is to increase revenue of product X by 10%, a logical KPI will be looking at revenue at certain intervals to see if revenue is going up. If revenue is increasing, that is an indicator that the tactics are working. If revenue is flat or decreasing, that's an indicator to reevaluate your tactic. Other KPIs could be the number of units sold, the number of hits, traffic amount, and of course all those considerations that you have so far mentioned. Maybe you could also base your argument on how these particular factors are increasing or decreasing. So your KPI could be increased brand awareness by 35%. See whether how you can measure that. To increase sales by 20%, to increase traffic by 21%, and of course to increase lead generation by 24%. So these are just some parameters or measurable KPIs that you can factor in. I want us to finish by looking at an example, right, of a fixtures company here. And really not fixtures, it's an existing company. It's known as Meet No More, found in the US, right? So example of SMART objective, I'd already mentioned this, but the objective is SMART, is to achieve 10% more traffic onto focus landing pages within 3 months, right? So that's a typical example of a SMART objective that can be implemented in their digital marketing strategy. What is the opportunity that they have? So you can always just look at this, you can read along, but the key point here we can maybe capture are what you have already mentioned in the SWOT. So what are their threats? What are their their competitors' weaknesses, right? How do they maybe endeavor to build onto that by looking at the opportunities, right? So as you can see, first, there's a problem. There is no set vision for how and where the brand needs to increase reach. So despite this, Meet No More is still appearing in some larger tail search engine results page, but there is no planned approach to manage these. So search engine optimization skills in the team is needed because it lacks. So there's limited budget. There's also limited budget, right? So these are key pointers that this particular company can work on. Maybe you can. So there's limited budget to boost traffic. The team also is lacking search engine optimization skills. There is no planned approach to manage search. So there's no planned. So these are some of the. There's no planned. Sorry. Of course, there is no set vision. Okay, there is no set. Right. So these are opportunities that Meet No More can be able to. So let's look at their strategy then. Right. So example strategy will compete to win, retain high intent web traffic, marketing lead to complete paid, owned, and media review, and identify priorities for the team. Okay, that could be one. The other strategy, based on what you have seen, a media budget will be needed for any paid work, plan workload for content or search engine optimization, social initiatives, in-house or agency-based, right? Then example of an action that they can undertake is to set up Google Analytics dashboards to monitor sources of website traffic across focus landing pages and track improvements. So ideally, this is just how you too can implement a given strategy. And remember, strategy is well implemented once you realize that there are gaps and you want to counter those particular gaps. So in summary, I have some of the points that you can factor in. Build your unique positioning and messaging. Very, very important. Build your buyer personas. Know who your buyers are. Identify your business goals and marketing goals. Prepare the list of digital marketing tools you need. There are those ones that are free. You can check on my previous videos. I've talked about them. Evaluate your existing digital channels that work for you. Audit and plan your own media campaigns. Analyze your digital marketing strategies, past successes and failures. And of course, identify your means. Stick to the budget. Measure and monitor the performance. I've already looked at that. KPIs. Set inbound marketing. Understand the digital sales funnel. Focus on blogging, and of course focus on mobile optimization and search engine optimization friendly content. So ladies and gentlemen, those are very important points that enables you to craft or create your digital marketing strategies. So within this channel, we always talk about digital marketing concepts. So if you're interested, always like the video and be part of this community. All right, thanks.